And special thank you to our sponsors. In the bottom right, starting location, he is
STX Soul Trap.
He's a trap. I can't do the Admiral Akbar voice very
not
well.
very well.
No, I'm sorry. And in the upper right, we have our Terran player playing brilliantly today. He is
Samsung Khan Reality.
Yeah, Reality is showing a very good level of play.
Yeah, he looks really good.
From what I've seen so far, he definitely deserves to make it out. Maybe Trap comes back and kills him, and then he loses in the final match, but he's looking very good. He's playing reactively. He's doing smart strategies. It's what you want to see out of a player that's going into the round of 16.
All right, since I mentioned that Admiral Akbar voice,
yes.
If you had a time machine and you could only go back and change something about the Star Wars movies, what would it be?
Well, I mean, I would probably go back and
stop Jar Jar.
Yeah, I mean, who wouldn't? That's probably just what everyone would do.
They might as well. You know, I'm into like time travel movies. Like I saw Looper a little while ago. They should just make one where they just the whole movie is about going back in time and saving Star Wars.
Yeah, and just getting rid of Jar Jar Binks.
Yeah,
I think that's pretty much everyone's.
Or at least turning Jar Jar Binks into a Looper where he has to kill himself and back in time.
But if Jar Jar Binks wasn't there, then suddenly when they go to
I know what you're
planet,
thinking,
they get caught, and that's it. That's the end. They caught Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan, and that's the end of it.
Well, they just replaced him with something else. They could have put like...
But that's not how it
They could have put like Scooby-Doo in there, and it would have been better. Like, and had him save him and everything like that, and it would have been fine.
And it's just the cartoon Scooby-Doo.
Yeah, I don't think... They're making the new Star Wars movies, right? Is George Lucas not making...
I actually am not sure.
I believe he's not. I believe he's actually not directed anymore. Because he was
actually.
So
I heard it was someone really
feedback.
good though. Really good. Dude.
Really? I don't really blame him.
He has enough money. He doesn't need to do anything ever again.
Yeah, basically.
He's probably just sitting there watching Starcraft.
Probably.
That's what I'm going to do when I make enough money. That's it. Well, actually, no. I still want to talk about it. So.
Okay, we got a quick Nexus rather, coming up here for Trap.
One day I'll win the lottery tasteless and I'll be like a millionaire in my home at like 60 years old. Like,
with your fingernails all grown out.
Yeah.
You're
and I'll make a casting desk like our old days. I'll have like a stuffed puppet of you sitting next to me and I'll just like watch the GSL muted and commentate it by myself.
If I die, you're going to make a taxidermy tasteless that just sits on the couch behind your computer.
Yeah.
There you go, man.
It'll be perfect.
I was going to give my body up to science, but forget that.
That is science. What are you talking about?
That's soft science right there, man.
Mm-hmm. By the way, we actually have some Hellions on the way. I really do like that.
That's good against this build.
And especially against what we've seen from Trap so far. He's been really all about the Forge early on, and that's one thing Hellions do not care about is that Forge. So definitely pretty cool. So he's getting 2 of them. They sneak out without being seen, and he's actually getting... Widow Mines from here. So a little Widow Mine Marine push and run in your Hellions. I mean, there's a lot of different things that can happen here. And in fact, oh god, I've felt this a lot of times. If there's not 2 units on that ramp and those run by, oh, this is so painful.
And they're up.
Well, he's going to be able to deal with it overall, but
nice control by Trap. Really nice
control. That was really nice, but still going to lose some probes. He's lost how? Like 3?
3, I believe. And
2 only.
2, okay.
And, ooh, he's going to get out of there, too. But you know what? Only 2. That was superb control by Trap, because I thought for sure he was going to use 3-4.
I can't believe he didn't lose a single Hellion.
Mm-hmm. I can't believe he only lost 2 probes. Those 2 Hellions are, at that point in the game, are very hard to deal with.
Okay, he's going to send out these Widow Mines now. And it looks like he's actually, Trap was already preparing to hit the 3rd here.
Is he going to go 4-gate after his Nexus?
I think so.
It looks like it, doesn't
it? That's an awfully quick pylon over there.
Yeah, possibly just a 3, which, I mean, okay. That's fine, but that's
it does look like he's going to do some heavy rush here.
Mm-hmm. All right, so with a really quick 3 command centers go up, a siege tank as well. That's like super defense right there. If you have that on your main ramp, you're basically not going to be broken in the game from Protoss.
Well, we'll see if he actually
this is a very
gets this command center to finish up and everything, because if he gets that 3rd finished and he can just pick up and leave, okay, he's not going to do any kind of rushes. He's getting a Forge.
Yeah.
Well, if he's doing a rush, it doesn't make any sense. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, Reality's in great shape so far.
Yeah, this is a good job. And, well, the observer's going to see some of these Widow Mines that are out there just kind of randomly placed, trying to catch anything coming out, like any scouts or whatnot.
We're seeing more and more technical Widow Mine play.
Yeah.
In the past months. And
I like seeing where they choose to put it.
Yeah, me too.
Because pros will randomize against Widow Mines where they send things in, and then you randomize where the Widow Mine is to try to catch it sometimes. And like we see a lot of cool back and forth with the metagaming of that. But this is, look at this funny build by Reality. He's on 3 bases, going all the way up to Starport, making a lot of siege tanks.
He's getting, he's matching the Trap's build pretty well. You know, Trap likes to get, like we saw, that Forge out in the Robo, and then get a little bit greedy. So it looks like this game, Reality said, yeah, you know, I'll get about as greedy as him as well here.
Yeah.
3 command centers of Starport, turtling with the siege tank. He's in pretty safe condition. I don't think.
Is he actually going to do a little push, do you think?
You know, he might. Actually,
because
I think
Marine Medevac siege tank is really nice against soft gateway units, but there is an Immortal on the way. I think Trap kind of senses that something might come of this.
We've seen throughout StarCraft 2 a lot of variations of siege tank pushes with Marines that have very small timing windows.
Yeah.
That's like how Supernova got started.
That's very true. That's exactly
so we might
what he
see
did
some
to
of that
crush
now.
through that Code A season full losses.
And you know what he might be doing now is seeing if he can do this variation of this with the Widow Mines.
This is brilliant. Look at that. He's actually, so what it is he's going to push the front with what looks like quite a scary army, but at the same time he wants to go for a drop in the main base to kill all the probes off.
All right, he's pushing out. There is one Immortal here.
But he's drawing those units down, and here we go. The Medevac coming in. Few units being warped in, but the Widow Mines, along with Hellions, you've got to run, but those Hellions will do a good job. Oh,
nice hit over there.
Very well done.
And now it looks like that Medevac is going to, the Hellion's going to be wiped out here. And Reality is turning around and going back home, going right under that Observer. It looks like Trap is in pursuit of that.
10 workers killed is pretty strong overall, but well, I guess no but. There's not really enough units from Trap to really injure that army if it's controlled correctly.
Yeah, it looks like it. He should just be able to get sieged up here. He's going to throw down those 2 bunkers. And I think it would be unwise for Trap to attack in here.
Yeah.
In fact, I'm surprised. Oh, nice scan. Always want to scan after an attack like that. They're basically always going to find an Observer.
Yeah. And you know what? After all of that kind of really funny, weird opening from Reality, he's just going into completely normal play. He's adding a lot of production, getting all of his upgrades going, but the upgrades are a little bit slow.
Yes.
So this is giving Trap some time. His 3rd base is completely secured, as we see. He's getting his upgrades going. He's got that Warp Prism out. And there's not a whole lot that reality can get done. Like, Stim is not, it's just halfway done. So, like, even this drop of 2 Medevacs, which would normally be super scary at this time, not as much.
And he gets spotted over here, coming that direction as well. So that should give Trap enough time to pin this down. And is he going to get this up here? Nice! Zap there. Feedbacking that Medevac.
Nice little hole. And behind us, Psystorm on the way. More gates, more gases, all the good stuff. And this is actually going to be pretty passive for the next few minutes, I think, Tasis.
Yeah, I think we should have a good amount of downtime here.
Yeah, it looks like it.
So, talk to me, Artosis.
Well, excited to go to Hong Kong tomorrow.
Yeah.
It's going to be a lot of fun.
Hong Kong is a lot of fun.
A lot of good players.
This is my 4th or 5th time going there.
Wow.
My
you speak Hong Kong?
I do not
they
speak Cantonese.
Mandarin?
Cantonese, they speak. Well, I mean, there's people speaking Mandarin down there too, obviously.
There's also people speaking English there as of tomorrow, for sure.
We know at least 2 of them, for sure. By the way, it looks like Trap's now moving out.
He's taking the middle of the map right now, trying to get some harassment done. Not anything really going on for him, though. I don't think he's expecting to do a lot of damage. He knows that Reality's sitting back and macroing for a moment, but any damage you can get done with a Warp Prism's worth it.
And we have a huge gateway explosion. He's going to be going off of 3 bases. Hardcore pressure here. He does not want Reality to get that 4th base up.
No, and Reality, I don't know if he's even going to, like, super commit to trying to get that 4th base up. I feel like he's going to land it and start moving out. He's got his 1-1. He's got stim and combat shields. His production is really starting to kick in. He's already got that supply lead. It's time for him to attack, or at least start moving out for it.
All right, and as you can see, a small attack. I don't even think Trap should be attacking in here, by the way.
With the Warp Prism?
Yeah, it turns like turtly. Terran just goes, oh, what's that? Just walks up there and kills it. I think you got to wait for them to actually move out with their army. Otherwise, you're simply reminding them that you have a Warp Prism and that you have plans for them when they do leave.
Well, you know, I think that right now he's looking at it and saying, Reality's trying to move out right now, so I may as well try to keep him focused a little bit more elsewhere, because I don't think he's quite as ready. You know, with siege tanks in there, the Templar Splash is not quite as good, so he's trying to get into his Colossus play. He doesn't really have his full army, whereas the full army for Reality is almost out. He's about to have 5 Ghosts out. His 2-2 is finishing up. He's just, things are looking a bit better for him.
The leapfrogging with the siege tanks has begun here for Reality. Nice storms there, by the way, as well. Reality's still in a very strong position. What do we have, 2 Immortals in that army? Yeah, 2 total.
That's going to be pretty helpful.
Yeah.
Some more Archons are being popped out, but not that many High Templars out, not that many Colossus, and Thermal Lance is not even halfway done, so you've got to give Reality that little bit of a lead. Supply-wise,
yeah,
he's
he's
up a little
inching
bit as well.
forward here. And I think definitely right call there, taking the 3rd base for Trap at the bottom center, and not the one that hugs the edge of the main.
Okay, yeah.
And CG. Oh, nice. And looks like he's going to stim and try to attack in here, and this Protoss army could be stuck up against this ledge right now. Some force fields coming down, but not too effective. The Colossus is on the run.
And a lot more damage being done by Reality right now than by Trap. There's not a lot of anti-air here, which is making his High Templars in that Warp Prism a little bit harder to use. His Colossi taking some extra damage from those Vikings as well.
All right, he's going to try to come around here and go towards the 3rd. This is going to give it Protoss a tough position to try to get any surround off over here. But there's good storm right here. Oh my God, those storms are really good.
Those were fantastic. This was really going Reality's way, but after those storms, looking much better for Trap than it was.
Zealots now coming around here. And it looks like he's going to try to engage this over here. Another beautiful storm here.
A cute little move, drawing the army up with that little group of Zealots, then utilizing the Psy Storm, but he does end up losing the Warp Prism along with the High Templars. But at least he does force Reality back, which gives Trap a lot more map control.
All right, Trap is now chasing his opponent back right now and taking the 4th base as well. Vikings could have taken out that Colossi, but then turned around. Both players nearly maxed out right now. And it looks like Trap wants to continue to push forward here. I believe the bunkers that were made up there earlier have been salvaged now, so he might be able to break that location.
You know, these snipes have been really
one
quick as
bunker
well.
there.
It's very hard for Trap to get any Psy Storms off. He's still got just 5 High Templars, which is pretty low for the current way to play PvT for most pros. You know, most people are going to have 8, 10 of them out there.
Well, you go in there expecting half of them to get sniped or EMP'd or something.
And you want them spread about as well. But
yeah,
Reality's doing a very good job of kind of spotting around the map a little bit more. And he really haven't been any super good Templar flanks yet.
By the way, Trap is going to go ahead and hit the center right location. Ooh. And this is going to be a nice angle to hit all these Zealots. Zealots now retreating here. There's just 2 Stalkers, so the Viking number is a real threat here if he wants to keep that Colossi tech up and running.
Yeah, the EMPs were pretty brutal there as well. A lot more Ghosts joining the fray. 3-3 on the way. +3 attack there for Trap as well. And he is getting that Dark Shrine, which really helped him out late game against Keen in that game number 3.
All right, so Reality, again, in such a defensive position here. He's got those sensor towers up. It looks like he's trying to get, Trap is trying to get his opponent out of position here so that his army can attack into the right side of the 4th. Meanwhile, Trap expanding to the bottom left side.
And you know what? He didn't use, I thought for sure he was going to use that time because he sent those Zealots up there. He had an observer watch the army leave that 4th base. I thought he would use that time to move into that 4th base and maybe try to snipe the Planetary again, but not wanting to take that risk.
Nice blink away, by the way, there. Scouting factory here. Did spot the bottom left base. This is going to be pretty tough here because the rest of the expansions Protoss takes are going to be at the bottom left, which is pretty hard for the Terran to get to, especially when you see the positioning. If you look at all the little red blips on the mini-map, especially the ones in the upper left corner, it's going to be hard to have the element of surprise coming into that bottom left corner there for the Terran.
You know, this game, it looks like the late game of reality is going to end up being this unit composition that's actually like really hard to play against. We saw, for instance, in the season finals, Tasia do this quite a bit against his Protoss opponents, where it's really heavy on Vikings, Medevacs, and Ghosts, and then it fills in with Marauder Marine. But when you get a huge amount of Ghost Viking, it's very hard to engage into because they're going to get EMPs off, they're going to get snipes off, and don't forget they cloak. And with a good scan, you're going to kill off every observer in a matter of seconds with your Vikings.
Yeah. And it looks like they're moving out here now. Cloak going down, EMP shot off over there. Time Warp now coming in here. The Vikings now hitting hard, taking out that Warp Prism, really nicely done. Now going around the lip of this edge over here. Forced to turn into an Archon. Terran Army is being wiped out rapidly. GG, that game ended in a flurry.
Yeah.
Wow.
Good play there by Trap. He had a very nice flank. Reality, I think, actually, he went too quick there because he was going for this super late game composition. I think you have to turtle more heavily with that. He was trying to be more aggressive with Viking Ghost. Whereas I feel like you have to start making some planetaries. You have to focus a little bit more on drawing the Protoss up rather than just walking in and killing them. Because when he did that, storm, lose everything, GG.
Do you feel like he put himself a little bit too behind by getting a lot of those siege tanks out, which didn't play any role in the end game here? Because he got the siege tanks out, which meant medevacs were a little bit later, and not in as big numbers. Ghost came out a little bit later. I don't know.
I think it was okay because he took the quick 3 bases. It prevented Trap from trying anything sneaky, and it did allow him those 10 probe kills that he got with his medevac drop. So I'm okay with it. It was cool. It was different. Was it the absolute best thing he could have done? It's harder to say.
Our final map between these two is going to be Polar Night. Who do you think's got this? I'm going with Reality here.
Yeah, I'll go with Reality. I don't know Polar Night well yet, so if I did, I might go with Trap or something, but looks like Trap has new braces, by the way. Just throwing that out there. Good to have straight teeth.
It is.
Can help you. It's easier to brush.
Thanks, Artosis. Yep. Greatest caster of all time.
But yeah, it's Reality. I think he's a little bit better at TDP than Trap is at PvT overall. A little bit. Yeah. But I don't know. He jumped the gun
Trap's
there,
got
man.
like something going for him in this build that he's doing.
Yeah.
But it doesn't feel like the build is airtight.
Yeah, and I think that Trap's army control in this matchup isn't quite airtight. It's quite good.
Well,
but it's not like
versus Terran Army control is tricky because you got so many spells you're trying to shoot off at once in the right order, and so many different variables to take in. Anyways, let's go to the map. Polar Night here and see how these two players fare and who's going to be the first to escape here in Group B, getting that much closer to potentially being a champion.